Presence great, the future's bright. One thing you can't take away is my past, though. Shorty told me a story, I ain't cast any aspersions or hold judgment. So I told her a peace of mind. I was 14, just starting to dream. All grandma wanted was a washing machine, couldn't afford it. Left me with a heart full of steam. Felt like coffee, let me borrow some cream. Hustlers said you can't be part of the team. Why? You a ball player, one day you gonna make it out. Yeah, I hear all that, but I ain't trying to wait it out. You giving me the work or what? What the debate about? They said no, so my options, I had to weigh it out. Fuck the daily news, I'ma find me a paper route. Got with the stick-up kids, them niggas drove a Pontiac. Never met Martin, but could tell you where the Tommy at. Pass me the pump, that's no relation to Johnny Jack. Ripped it like I'm getting in and out of that laundry mat. Apologize to the couple I had to victimize. Laid a toe near and look, I got a big surprise. She was happy, but listen, she ain't no dum-dum. Where the money for this washer and dryer come from? Wanted playing basketball, man, a lump sum. Gave her a kiss and a hug, that's where I come from. I feel like I'm losing weight. Wait, I ain't got no money if I'm moving weight. My life's based upon what I'ma do today. Cop a crib, a new estate, new estate. Yeah, that's what I used to say. You can't get paid and the earth this big, you worthless, kid. You know the
He said, if you can't get paid and the earth this big, you worthless, kid. Run that back one more time. He said, if you can't get paid in a world this big, you worthless, kid.
That is a big diss.
Yo, I was just... We need to start off with that type of energy. All right? Yeah, some of these headphones need, retire. They're in retirement. They're in retirement.
Yeah, I can't even hear it, though.
You don't hear nothing now? Yeah, I don't know.
I got my trailer that I knew it was getting released, but it just dropped like today.
What the?
For his the short film I was working on called Retaliation.
Oh really?
Bro, I don't know if you want to
pull that up. Hell yeah,
pull that up.
Wait,
it's only a minute. It's crazy.
What I will say, I think what we're gonna start to do though now in 2024 is I think we're gonna have like a therapy movie edition. I'm just gonna steal all the 10 minutes before we start the pod, and I'm just gonna have JoJo start rolling early, and then just gonna take all those 10-minute clips, and we're gonna make that into one big episode.
That'd be dope.
like snippets
right?
of things that we talk
Yeah,
about
before the pod.
That's funny because that would be a whole new show.
Yeah, no, you need to start. This is what I've been meaning to tell you. You need to start a movie podcast.
I've been trying to activate it, but I've been, locking things down.
You need to.
The coffee critique that's really the movie podcast.
Not really though. No,
you sipping coffee, talking about stuff. I could start a movie podcast. I just gotta call it another name and then go off.
Yeah, you need.
I'd be like, yo, let me tell you about this movie real quick.
You 100% need to.
And just there's no cuts. Just me.
You need to
let the
really
clip
get
out.
in your bag with these movies.
Like I'll have a criteria and like questions to answer.
Because you be watching like almost every movie, and this guy be having the biggest. What were you out just talking about now?
Dune.
Did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
No,
I haven't seen Dune.
Man, that movie was so crazy, man. Like it was just as a filmmaker, as a moviegoer, it was the only movie I could think of that wasn't a superhero movie, but it was like one of the best science fiction movies that you'll see in a while. That's not a superhero movie. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Because the way they directed that movie from beginning to end, like the vibes and everything, they were so practical, and then the sound played such a major factor. Like there was a scene where they have like these suits on. So then they were like, all right, we got the suits on. We have to go to higher ground. And they just pressed this button and the sound dropped. And you just see them flying up and climbing up a mountain. And it was really them. Obviously, there's wires. But the way they did it was so smooth. Like, they could have easily made it CGI. They did not. The whole movie, you're watching it, you're like asking whether it's CGI or not.
Or if it's real.
Like, you're questioning it the whole time. Most of it is like practical. And it's just, I thought the movie was just like, it made you feel like watching like a 90s movies, but today.
Yo, you know what's a funny thought I did have about movies? Because, y'all know, like, I don't be really watching shit. All I watch is, like, interviews and podcasts and everything. And I just had a funny thought. Like, yeah, I'm just walking the dog and just have a random-ass funny thought. I was like, I'm going to be really pissed if in, like, 10 years I'm not really successful and I wasted all that time watching all that personal development shit and I could have been watching fucking movies. I was like, I'm going to be
change your whole life.
I was like, I'm going to be really pissed.
I'm just saying, that's why I was like, you better just live life and enjoy it. Because I'm not watching movies.
Fuck that.
You gotta live life, man. Fuck all this. Like, you work, you do what you gotta do. But it's only worth it if you value it. If you give it value, then it means something. If you don't give it value, then it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. I value movies. That might be like my $1 billion paradise.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much money you got. Whatever you put that energy in, that's what has the most priority for you.
Yeah.
If you like boats and you're a billionaire, you're gonna buy boats.
All fucking.
You're gonna get a boat that's super high tech. Like, you prioritize.
I'm gonna have a whole movie theater.
Right.
I have a whole fucking movie theater. I can't wait to see what your movie theater is gonna be like when you're rich.
Oh, I planned it out, drew it out.
It's like it's already.
It's crazy. It has a mini. All right, it's one theater because you're just watching what I'm watching. Not to say I'm open to other people's movies, but it's just one movie theater, right? And then it has like a bar. You know what I'm saying? It has neon lights. You know, like it looks like it gives off like a movie theater. It has a popcorn. I have someone at concessions, which could be anybody, essentially. It just it's literally a ZMC.
A ZMC. I like that. Hold on, I need a ZMC.
A ZMC.
You said that too quick, Tory. You've definitely had that in
I
your
told
head
you. I thought I already have it. Like, it's my house. I'm not gonna have to worry about no trademark or anything. It's just gonna be ZMC all over the place. That's it.
This is hilarious.
The Coca-Cola machine with the different buttons and all that. You're gonna think it's a movie.
So what's gonna be inside your vending machine?
It's probably gonna be like drinks that are mostly from Japan. Like, it might be the same machine, but it's gonna be literally like exotic drinks from Japan.
Okay, and all the exotic candies.
All the exotic candies. I'm not even a big candy person, but there's gonna be a vending machine.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be there.
All
You're
right.
just gonna want to spend money.
Well, Javi's vending machine would be mad boring. Just a bunch of protein shakes, chicken breast in there. You know
That's not a bad idea.
Just steak,
Protein bars.
A prep meal vending machine.
Bro.
That's all that would be there.
Bro, you out here just giving gems. A prep meal vending machine.
A nutrition one.
That's all Javi. Javi got to take that. Before,
Yeah, you gotta take that.
Just someone else takes it.
I slid it over. Take it. Yo, we be coming up on this pod. If we really go back, because we're at almost 300 episodes. Yo, we've given mad inventions.
We've already had like a hush order multiple times. Like, we had to talk outside the pod like that, and we were like, "Yo, we gotta put it on Patreon, but we gotta charge hella money." But we're gonna be mad. We charge like $200, and maybe like 20 people get it, and then they take that and they
take it and they run with it, right?
They run with it, you know.
I don't know.
But I mean, honestly, like, as a creative, I have millions and millions, if not billions, of ideas that's flowing constantly. If I get mad over one idea getting stolen, I feel like at that point you've kind of just like given up getting creative. Like, you don't got no more ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone just took $1 from you, it might have been your last dollar, but you'd be like, if it's your last dollar, you're going to be like, damn, man, I don't got no money. But if you had like $20 and I took $1, how mad would you be?
It's whatever. I get it back.
Right? Same thing with ideas. If you got $1 billion in ideas, $1 means nothing. Yeah. And that's how I treat my ideas. So it's just like, you know what? But there's certain ideas that I know how it can go up, I know how it fails, and I know how to get it to continue. So if you take it, you got something, but then when you start it, you're like, well, I don't know what to do after I started it. You don't got no plans. You don't know about no future features that I had built in. Like every app design or invention, it's like I have a beginning, middle, and end for it. And so if you just have the beginning, you're not going to know what to do with the rest of it. You don't know about any features that I might want to add in there. So I was like, all right, no problem. You take it. I really don't got nothing to tell you.
He's like, I got more. That
more.
Came from.
I got more.
You already know.
That's it. That's why I encourage filmmakers, just make the movie. Just make it. Yeah, I know it sucks you worked like 3-6 months writing. You got to keep writing, man. Write more. Write like 20 ideas a year and film it. Like you're gonna deal. You got to come up with so many ideas. It's gonna be hard for them to steal it. That's how you got to do it. It's like, damn, he keeps pumping up with ideas. He's going so fast. We can't produce as many movies as this guy is dumping out movies.
Yeah, you ever think about shows like The Simpsons and what's that doctor show that has like 1 million shows?
The House or
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
It's like, do you ever wonder like what their process is, and like they have to research to be like, yo, did we do that already?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like every episode is so different. Like what are the chances you bumping into the same?
Who's the person that checks that shit?
That's a good question.
They have to have a role.
There might be a code. I think it's a code. I think a writer has a code, and they know like how did this one end, right? And there's it ended where the father blank. Okay, so if I did that, that means I must have done it like a few episodes back.
Or like Law and Order.
Like Law and Order got it easy because they're pulling cases, and they got a whole bunch of cases.
Isn't Law and Order a different story each episode?
It is. It's a different story.
You don't have to coincide.
Nah,
right.
That's even crazier.
Right.
I feel like that's easier.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
You're basically making a short film each episode.
Yeah, which I love.
None of it makes sense.
None of it. It's just
it's what we did. Therapy of the series. Go check
Right.
it out. You know.
check it out.
Go check it out. Yo, yeah, we killed that shit. All right. Anyway, but you're right, yo. But how many episodes there are of that shit?
So how many people like?
I like Power.
Once the last one like the original ended,
They came out with like 4 spin-offs.
Right.
All
Yeah.
continue from the same spot.
but they follow each character's path on different ways.
That's what we've been thinking about. Matt's been trying to get me
He's
to
like,
do
"Yo,
a
I need my
spin-off.
show.
Yo, every time I see
I
him,
need my show.
he's like, yo, Sean needs...
He needs something.
Maybe. I don't have it in me right now. I don't have it in me.
Y'all got it.
But shows like The Simpsons and shit with thousands and thousands and thousands of shows,
Right.
there's got to be someone in there checking that. But Zain, what you been doing, man? Of course, this weekend you went to see a movie. I know that.
Yep.
What else did you do?
I was editing. I was coding. I was like working on like a project I'm building, like Netflix, like a Netflix clone, but like with code. So I was really learning how to use like GitHub and a couple other like AI softwares, and just learning the market too, because everybody's going into like yes, there's coding, but now it's like you got to code into AI. Like that's where you're going. It's no longer AI being like not being integrated. They are integrating slow and fast. Yeah. That's what's happening. They say, yeah, we're integrating this into the code. And then people are thinking like, oh, coders are going to lose their job. To be honest, no, because God forbid something happens and you need somebody to undo what the AI is doing. You're going to need some people that understand the language of AI. Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting like an AI feature in everything now. Like you'll see the little AI assist.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything.
How you feel about that?
I love it. I love it, but also at the same time, it is kind of wild. But I think it's going to get to a point where they're going to regulate it to a certain point. Javi would probably know. Javi's our current affairs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? When do you think they're going to put like a halt?
Well, did you guys hear about what happened?
He's like, well, actually,
He's
Yeah,
like, hold
right?
on, I'm about to chop
Let me
the
whip it
file.
out, right? So, did you guys hear
pause.
about...
Whoa,
No pause, no pause, let it go. It's
whoa.
already out.
Pause.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Yeah, I'm dead. Nah. But... yeah.
Anyway,
What an intro. Anyway, Javi.
Hello. What you call it? It's what happened with Taylor Swift. So
Oh my God.
there was like this AI leak of her nude, like naked pictures. Like it wasn't her, but it was AI generated images
What they
of
would
her,
think, yeah.
and it went like viral all over the internet. And like shortly before the Super Bowl, there were a bunch of I'm not sure if it was senators or like people in Congress who supported a bill to like regulate that kind of stuff, specifically because of what happened with Taylor Swift. Because like they can make like high, like it looked like her, like as if like her news got leaked, but it's just AI.
So there is something going to be put out, right? Like
100%.
I
100%.
have something that might make Javier also laugh too. So what you're saying is, if this was as real as, because AI give you some real stuff, right? It looks so real. So if the real actually is the thing, and the nudes were actually leaked, right? And
You wouldn't
they
be
were
able to tell the difference.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But
No.
then let's set aside that, because I feel like that was really like an agenda. But like if someone was actually doing something incriminating, you're gonna say it's AI too?
That would be up to whoever's that person's defense. Like for example, if they take it to, that's why they're going to regulate it. Because on stuff like that, they're going to force like a watermark or something. Like if anything that's generated with AI, you have to put a certain watermark on it, right? And maybe they'll be sneaky with it. Maybe they'll say like you have to put it in the code of the image, right? So like for example, like you could post it on Instagram. We won't know because we're not looking at the code of the image. We're just looking at the image. But if you look at the code of the image, you see that the watermark's there, and then it's AI generated.
See, I actually heard something a little bit of the opposite. So someone was saying that real people are going to have to start using codes and shit like that to verify that they're not an AI.
Well, they have to do that now.
You know what's
They
even
have to do
weirder
now.
that we've
That's
had
what
that
the
for a while now.
CAPTCHAs are.
What's
Like-
up?
The CAPTCHAs.
Yeah, when it
yeah.
says, "Are you a robot?"
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? There's times, I'm not gonna lie, where I do second guess, and it is very concerning when you get the answer wrong, and you're like, "What's going on?" Wait, and you're just like, "Wait
Yeah.
a minute." The alternative is I'm either a robot or a human. I'm not getting these answers right. What is going on right now?
I clicked
What's
the
gonna
fire
happen?
hydrants. What is this?
What is this? Like, what's gonna happen?
The worst one is like select the stairs in the image, and there's like that one where it's like a sliver.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yo, I love whoever created that meme because there's a meme of it too, and it shows you, and then the person's like sweating
Oh,
bullets.
the peel.
Yo, it is one of my favorite memes of all time.
I really be like, should I like consider that? It's barely in it.
It's in it.
It's there, like the lights. So every time it's the street lights with me, it's like but there's the yellow right there. Though. I could still see it. I don't know, but like I don't know what's the protocol for that. We don't know yet, but they've been prepping us. So now that we're in the AI space, it makes more sense. It makes more sense
does.
now.
Because they always know. It goes back to, I think I've said this story on here before. You know, back when I used to work in the wireless industry, this was like in 2015. You know, Samsung actually came in. This was like the bosses from Samsung. And we worked, it was like a top store. So every once in a while, when a big phone would come out, reps would come out, but this was like not a big dogs came. And we're just talking to them and shit. And I don't know how it came up. But like, you know, someone said like, oh, this is crazy what the phones could do or whatever. Yo, like one or two of those reps, yo. and they were straight from Japan. Like they knew, like their answers were 100% right. They were like, yo, the things that these phones can do and what we could do on tech, they said will absolutely blow your mind. They said there's only 2 reasons why we're like we can't put it out yet. They're like, number one is the price. They're like, we just haven't figured out how to price it yet because some of the stuff that we could do is just so it's so expensive. And this was in 2015. They were like that, they could put it out, but no one would be able to afford it.
But there's people out there
that probably would, but
right.
But though you never know though, because you never know, like if they have a service that's like $50,000,
and you're just like, no, this phone is
fucking
not.
Teleports you.
It's like the cheap phone. We've been getting cheap phones. These $1,200 phones.
They do it on purpose.
Is cheap phones.
And again,
people. That's crazy.
That's regular though. It's like the army.
Oh no, they get the top.
Oh yeah,
notch.
Right.
Everything in the military complex is 40 years before it gets to like community. So like stuff that's out today, they had 40 years ago.
Right.
And it's almost the same thing with like what you're saying with like T-Mobile
Those
and
spy
AT&T.
movies in the
they had that
90s.
stuff 10 years ago, and they're just releasing it now.
And I believe that they are very. I think there's a department somewhere that's very adamant on like, no, we need to make sure people are ready for certain things.
Right.
Yeah, you can't just throw that out there.
I think COVID was a big fast forward us a little bit because I think like all right, where we are now with this whole AI stuff, we're in 2024. I think we probably wouldn't have been here till like 2027 if that never happened. If COVID never happened, I think where we're at now in tech,
it would have been delayed.
Delayed,
So they wanted
100%.
to speed it up.
Yeah.
By
no, I mean seriously, because you know how many people now know how to do like Zoom and all these.
And we're still behind.
Oh yeah, we're still.
The States is still behind China by like at least 10 years. Oh my God. So you think about that.
But I think that was a major like fast forward because that's the space I'm in. Jersey media, tech, social. Like I study this shit every day, and I also study people's reaction to it.
Right.
Like I study how if I'm talking to a 70-year-old or a 60-year-old, how they view social media. And I'm telling you, and I've been doing this shit. So in 2018, 2019, it was completely different from just a year or two later.
Yeah.
Like, so what that did, that really fast forwarded time.
Yeah.
In like a digital space. Like, it's insane. But not to take this podcast super left. You know what I wanted to talk about today?
I bet it's completely opposite of
It
what
is. Right? Yeah, it's completely. That's how we be going with this pod. We starting off one way, and then it's like I just take y'all super left. Like, what is love? Nah.
Yeah, last week
It got deep, right? And I didn't even really get in my bag, too, because I was kind of feeling it a little bit. But
started talking about have you ever felt love?
I said, all right, we're not going to do it because we're going to do it next. We're going to dive more into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Next episode, we're going to dive more into the actual topic. But it was, have you ever felt, or do you feel like you've ever been given unconditional love? You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, like what is love?
that shit fucked me up for a week, man. Now we're here.
It makes you really think.
I was
It
like,
makes
this
you
whole
really
time,
think.
This whole time. Just nothing but conditional love. All these oh man.
Sorry, y'all. He's about to cut all y'all.
Yo, there's a lot of conditional people just get,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
living on a thread right now.
Because no, we'll go into this next week.
Next week, yeah, because I'm about to let the clip out.
Yeah, next week. But I wanted to get into, man, that I don't know about y'all, but I just hate quitters. Like I just cannot. I cannot stand quitters, and I also cannot stand when people settle for average. Like, bro, like I almost wanted to I put up a little post today on my Instagram, whatever, me just talking shit. And what did I say? I put become allergic to average. Chase greatness, chase excellence, even though it may seem impossible. Yo, that almost was if you like average, yo, just get the fuck off my timeline. So that was I put out the nice version. The real one was like, yo, I just cannot stand that average shit, man. I can't stand it in so many different avenues. Like, bro, if you're gonna be an average, parent, if you're gonna be an average friend, if you're gonna be an average coworker, partner. Like, bro,
What would
that
be
shit is for
average?
birds.
Like, what would be considered average?
Just not chasing the the top of the fucking. It's like you playing a sport. It's like me playing fucking football, and I'm not trying to be the best fucking man on the team.
So they're just on the team.
Yeah, you just playing. The fuck are you doing? Get the fuck off the field.
So the people who don't really want to be there and they're just playing just to play.
Yeah, nah, bro.
That's what Kobe said. Kobe said that when he got into the NBA, he realized that most of the people in the NBA were just playing to get money. They weren't chasing like championships or like accolades. So he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be easy.
Yeah,
Take candy from the baby."
100% because
Just thinking that mindset will fucking shred you.
That's Kobe at 19.
Right.
You know,
bro, I am a firm believer of that shit. I'm sorry, just in everything you do. And you know what the crazy part is that you probably won't obtain that in most of those areas. But yo, there's just something about chasing that shit that's just different. Because you're gonna get closer to where you probably wouldn't have got if you weren't chasing that shit. So it's like, obviously, you know, we're gonna be realistic. Like, if you're chasing fucking greatness and you're chasing not being average and not quitting on shit in a few different areas, yo, you might not get there on fucking 4 of them. You might not make it to there on all of them. But I guarantee that you'll get closer to that goal of whatever it is a lot more if you're actually fucking chasing it. Whether you're just sitting there around there, just like, oh, I just want to get through, I want to be here. I don't even know what the thought process is. You know what I'm saying?
I met some people that they're just not inspired. They haven't met the inspiration that they needed to. Like I had gotten mine early, but I guarantee you, if I never had like that spark, which was like in 2015. If I never had like my cousin say, "Hey, here's Photoshop. You're going to do flyers for me and whatnot. Utilize those skills and get paid." I promise you, the Zain would have never existed. It would have just been, I wouldn't have been here. I would have been average Joe just working.
So what motivated that?
That the motivation was I was always hustling. Like I always like making money on the side. I was drawing stuff and I was just making money off my skills. When I figured that out, I was like, I could get money for my skills. I started to try to learn other skills that could also get me money. And I was like, and I learned real quick because my mom didn't like stop me. She was just like, make sure you save your money, and put it away, put it in the savings. So I was like, I played a lot of video games that were like very RPG-ish. So you had to like make money and then purchase stuff in the game to get like stronger weapons. And that was like the thing. So in real life, I took that and I said, if I want these toys, then I need to save my money. So then I said, I'm going to start drawing and getting paid and then doubling my allowance, because I was getting allowance like every 2 weeks, and now I was making more money in school than I was making a month waiting for my allowance. That was what I was teaching. And then my cousin got me a job, and it was like, oh yeah, give you $70. $70? I was just used to $25, and I thought that was a lot of money.
Yeah,
$75 to $100 just to do a design, and I was like, what? That just put me over. So then that was where the hustle began, and then it opened my horizon. I was like, wait, you could get paid outside of school? That changed it. Once I learned that, it was just game over, because there was no network outside of school. I was only networking with people I was talking to within the space. Once he was like another outlet that opened me to more clientele, because he was in the entertainment business. He did like interviews with like Jim Jones, Lil Wayne, like a couple of people, and he would, his hustle, he bought a camera, right? He bought like those cameras with the lights. He would go into these clubs and he would just it have lights on it, blasting, and he would have my other cousin go in there and he would just interview people. Like, you know how they do like bing bong and all? Yeah. He was doing that without social media and just going out there. And his thing was called What's Hood. And that was like his big phenomenon, entertainment. And he's like, I want you to make flyers for me. I was like, all right, cool. That's when I started getting into graphic design heavy. So if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have that hustle. If I didn't have that person, then I wouldn't have been as hungry to do more. But there's a lot of people who don't have those people yet in their lives.
And I think with you, too, specifically, also, this is just me knowing you and looking from the outside in. I think what was really dope about that is because that was more of like because you already were focusing on skill.
Right.
And you were like, yo, I'm going to do this. I'm good. Skill. I think that just gave you another excuse to just learn another skill. And then you realized, oh, shit. Like, I think you get like, I don't know, like that dopamine effect or whatever it is from mastering that skill.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
it's
I
like
don't,
a video game achievement.
Like, I don't even know if it's like, I personally don't think it's like money motivated. I think it's more of like you said, skill motivated, or like you pass that level and you're hungry to just be like the best in these different skills.
But you see how the priority was like really different in terms of like money. You saw like, oh, money's not really motivating him. It's a bonus at this point, and he's adding to his skill set or improving his skill set. But then you could say the same about someone who just gets money, but they're not as motivated. I just get money to get money. But like, what do you like do? Like, what's your skill? I guess you could just be making money as a skill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you call it for those people? They just live their life, quote unquote, average, but their average is just making money. You know, like, do you need necessarily a skill in order to be qualified to be considered someone who's ambitious?
What do you mean?
Or do you just need to
be?
Or do you need to be a person that has a skill that turns it into like a business venture, or can they just be a person that just they're just really good at making money?
I don't think it even has to be any of that. I don't even think I have to do anything with money. It could be, you know what I'm saying? Like when I say this, I think it has many different approaches. You know, like when I say that shit, like just be allergic to average. You know, average doesn't have to be money, but like if you're gonna fucking be a garbage man, be the fucking best garbage man on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like do that shit with some fucking pride. Like you know what I'm saying? Be on time. Do your shit. Like whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's just whatever you're gonna do, try to put your best in that shit.
Sometimes I think people's pride prevent them from being the best that they can be in their situation. Like if you notice those people who actually do their job extraordinarily well, and you're saying to yourself, "What are you doing here?" They might just be doing their job. That's like their thing. They love doing it. Like they're like the best person, and you're like, they're so good at their job. You look at them, and you're like, you don't belong here because you're so good at your job. So, I think about the people who they do that and they really don't want to be there. So they're just being good at their job, and then someone's looking at them like, man, what are you doing here? You should be doing something else, but they don't know.
Yeah, but that's up to them to wanna break that. But at least I feel like I at least give them credit for doing that. Like even if you don't want to be there, that don't matter. Like, and that's another thing I feel with that too is like, it doesn't matter if you don't want to do shit. Sometimes you just got to do it. Like you may not want to do XYZ. You may not want to be someplace. Again, like if it's at a job you don't want to be at, it doesn't matter if you don't want to be there. If you're fucking there, put your best, put your all into that shit. If not, move out the way and let someone else go into this position.
I honestly think school is partial to blame for it because they teach you, like at a young age, like the jobs, and then you'll notice that like people like, ooh, doctor, yay, or they're like sanitation worker. They're like, ah. If you correct that and make it the same where everybody's working, yay, instead of like you start to have this scale in your head where you notice that people are praising the doctor roles and then people who are doing like sanitation work is not getting the same amount of praise. So then when you become an adult and you work in these spaces, your ego's automatically saying, yeah, man, this is not a place to be excited. So if you're not excited, that means you're not really motivated. And if you're not motivated, you're not going to put as much work in. But as a doctor, you're getting paid, but you're like, you know, on that route of being a doctor, you want to work. You want to like put in that effort. You know what I'm saying? But then there's average doctors.
They're just going in there for the check.
You know what I'm saying? Like they did something with their life. So, but that's the sad part is they just go for the check. You know
that stuff honestly really
that's the sad part to me is being the best in that space and then being average. As a doctor, you should always be pushing for a cure.
But that's why I say all the time, skill don't mean shit. No, like in certain things, it doesn't mean you could be the best doctor ever.
Right.
But if you're not putting in that work and you're not trying to be the best, just because you're the best at the physical skill, if you're not showing up and doing all the other pieces, are you really the best?
Right.
Are you? You know what I'm saying? Like you may be the best surgeon in the world, but if you this, you that, like, are you the best?
And the real question is, who's the one that creates that rubric of what's stellar work and what's like basic work, like what's good and what's not good. Like who sets that tone? Like
you're right.
Who, you know, that, and I feel like that's where it becomes really subjective to scaling people's ambition. Like who are you? But who sets that tone? Who says, yeah, that's the score that we're going with? You know, it's always been 100, but why not 200?
Maybe that's why I always like sales jobs and stuff like that, because you could clearly see what you're doing. You know, when it's by the numbers, I'm not too much of a number guy, like too analytical, I'd say, but I do like that shit because it always shows. Proof is always in the fucking pudding.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, whatever you're gonna do, like I can't stand, especially with like work related stuff. If we're talking about work related, like performance and just being the best that you could be, I can't. I'm sorry, I be sounding and I be feeling old, but I'll be so mad, like when I go to even like a simple ass place, like I could go to Subway right now, and if the kid is on his phone like this, or he's like, yo, what up, like, or talking like super slang to me,
you just
or
like,
acting like he don't give it, like, bro, I be furious.
But where they learn it from?
Like and like it's because it's so unprofessional, bro. I'm like, yo, who let you have a job here?
It's the Gen Z, bro. It's the Gen Z. That's it. Like we that's how when we were growing up, and then certain adults were like what's wrong with you and whatnot. Now we're in that class. Now we're looking at these young kids like, why isn't the respect consistent? Yeah, we old.
Yeah, we old.
We old.
It does go back to a little bit about what we were talking about last week.
It's
and
not
stuff.
consistent, man.
But like, you know, when you see someone great, like, but that's again though, but that's it's more of even just a generation, because it's older people, younger people. It's because you don't take what you're doing seriously, and you're not just trying to be the best person you can be, or you're not trying to do your best or show up your best. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you're fucking everything that you do, your name is attached to that shit.
Right.
Your image is attached to that shit. Like, I think people really don't realize that the way they act in sometimes certain areas, people can see that shit. Like, the way you move, like, I could probably see you. You could probably work somewhere over here locally, and I see the way you move. I know it probably shouldn't be right, but it's just natural. Is because I see the way you move there, that will probably stop me from doing business with you in X amount of areas. And the sad part is you probably are really dope in those areas, but because you're showing me over here, I'm never going to go that way with you. And it happens in so many different areas. You could be like a really shitty parent, and I could see that, and I will never, ever rock with you on any other levels. I will never rock with you on any other levels. And you could be amazingly skillful at a few other things. But because you're not putting your best into this one thing, it's going to really affect your life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not just going to mess with you. There's a bunch of other people like me as well, too, that will see that you're really bad in this area. So, I don't really know if I should even rock with you over here. Right. So it's, again, that's why I'm saying, like, yo, it doesn't matter what area it is of your life. If you're not just trying, and again, you don't have to be super successful at it. You could be trying to play ball. You could be trying to do that, and you could suck. But if you're in the gym every single day and you're going to practice and you're playing, and people will give you enough credit to be like, yo, you know what? You a hard worker. You may not be winning. You may not be going nowhere. But guess what? They see that character in you, and it's just, bro. People have lost that, or people just really don't think that matters anymore. And it just mind blows me that people do not think that how their level of just trying to succeed and do something at 100% is not going to affect them.
I mean, who's gonna challenge that? If they don't see it, they're not gonna challenge it.
They're gonna find out when it's too late.
Exactly. That's the, like, it might be their kids that might tell them, or a family member that tells them that you're wasting all that potential. Do something. It's never too late to start. There was this older woman, I think she was like 85, that started coding, and she was like really good at it, and then she was doing it up until she was like 90. I think she's still alive, but like she could have been. I think at that point they're like, "Oh, you're too old. Why learn a new skill?" Like, what? You should keep on learning to the day you die. Like, that's just it. Doesn't matter if you're 85. You're like, I've learned all I needed to learn, and then you become outdated real quick. Like, keep learning. Like, it's just weird when you have people who are like our parents' age that don't have cell phones because they're not. I don't do technology. I don't do the TikTok or the Facebook or any of that. I just like a basic. You just like, you can't just get with the times. You know what I'm saying? I have my uncle who has an Instagram, and he's in his 60s, getting to 70s, and he'd be posting on Instagram, having a good old time. Like, you got to get with the times. You know what I'm saying?
And like you said, it's never too late.
It's never too late to learn. You know, a lot of these people they just think like, I'm here now. This is it, and they might, like I said, they haven't met that person to tell them, to spice them up, to redirect their life. You know, there's a lot of people who are great that started late in their life, and I'm sure before they were great, they were told the same thing, like, man, you ain't doing enough. You're not, like, what are you doing with your life? And you're just like, I got this idea. You know, it's KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And you're like, man, get the hell out of here with all that. And then all of a sudden he puts effort and it blows up. And yeah, he was old, but he started it. And at the end of his life, he could say, like, I fucking did it. You know what I'm saying? But I give people the chance to, because maybe they just, like, we don't control their life. Maybe they're going to spend 30 of the years of their life just roaming about. And then at 31, they say, you know what? I got an idea.
Yeah, but we don't got time for that shit.
Who's we?
We don't got time. We don't got time. Yo, like, people don't have time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, people are dying out here. You don't know. You could die tomorrow. You want to die being average? It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Everyone thinks that they have all this time in the world. Like, bro, like, I get it. Like, that's great. Like, even with that, like, oh, the woman who learned shit at 85, that's cool. But, bro, she could have died at 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, you got to get to this shit. Like, you can't be out here wasting your days away. Like, you got to get to it. Like, we have, now social media and all these different things. Like, there's no excuses. Like, there's absolutely no excuse. Like, you got to just be able to step it up in different areas. And like I said, it doesn't have to be work. It could be you as a brother, as a father, as a friend. It could be you as a worker. It could be in anything that you do. Just stop being fucking average.
And what ways would you question someone to what's a guideline to that they need to follow to make sure that they don't stay average? Like, what are things that, like, a general basic guideline? Like, make sure you do this. If you haven't done this, and it doesn't mean money wise.
Yeah, it doesn't mean money.
Like, then you're average. You know what I'm saying? If you're cool and excited with getting a B, you're average. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, what's your guideline?
I think every situation they have to have a role model. You should have a role, and also I do believe is the older we get, I do feel that you should have role models in different areas of your life. You should have one for finance. You should have one for your fitness. You should have one for maybe creativity, one for, mindfulness, like all these different things, all these different areas. You should have certain role models. And if they're not humans, maybe they're peoples or they're organizations, or there's something that you want to be able to attract. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I being, am I working hard enough that this organization will want to rock with me? Or am I, like, I see this guy, he's a really good father. Am I, maybe being similar to him? And yes, I'm saying for you to compare yourself. I am. I'm saying compare yourself to some of the fucking greats. If you, like, again, back to what we were saying before, if you're playing basketball, yo, watch Michael Jordan. Compare yourself to fucking Michael Jordan. Are like, yeah, you may never get to his level, but guess what? You can be a lot better than if you weren't. So I think you have to have set, certain like role models. Even like with money, when people say, "Oh, they set a goal," it's the same shit.
Right. Like, why am I saving? Who's a person I know is really good with money?
Yeah.
And that's my role model. They know they don't play no games. Like me, with fitness, I got certain fitness people that I think about, like, oh no, you gotta pump harder. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let you go off easy with that. I be thinking, like, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was my personal trainer, like, what is he whispering in your ear? What is he saying? He said, pump harder.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, at the end of the day, too, like, if you're listening to this, you're watching this somewhere, that you could be doing better. We all know the areas in our life that we could do better. You know what I'm saying? We all have them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't fucking rocket science. Like, you could show up more. You could do this. You could wake up earlier. You could eat better. You could push a little harder here. Like, where you're average. Like, Jojo, what do you think about this, man? Because I be feeling like me and you would be relating with a lot of shit. And I know you be seeing people out here that they be moving average and ain't shit people. And you be like, yo, they trash. I don't know.
Shit, you be giving everybody the craziest intros. I say be giving everybody the craziest intros. Got Javi with the intro.
Nah, because I'm gonna put it to you like this: like I see you at work, right? Mm-hmm. And the fuck was that? I have no idea. That was maybe an ad. Put it to you like this: the most littlest things that people really don't realize that like affects how they're viewed. Because I'm very big on perception.
Like, I agreed with what you were saying before, that even doing something you don't want to do it the best you can. Like, there's days I don't want to be there. Yeah. But like, my work isn't gonna slack. Like, I'm gonna still.
I've never ever seen you not greet a customer. I've never ever seen you make a pizza without putting the fucking thing on, whatever it's called. Like, little things like that. Yeah. The most littlest things like that will tell me about a character of a person.
But I think that makes you a man,
because you do it with integrity. Like, all those things, like, you're doing that shit with integrity.
Well, that's the definition of a man, though. You gotta do things you hate like you love it. You get me? You gotta do the things that are necessary like you love it. You get me?
That's the fucking theme of my life.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. That means you a man. You get me?
You gotta do it. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, all right. And it's funny because our parents be like, "You not excited?" No, I'm not excited, but I gotta do it. Like, would you want me to do a backflip? I gotta do it. Shit gotta get done. I don't know what to tell you.
Especially now, there's a lot of people that'll just quit it. Like, they'll just give it up or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. You can't call yourself a man if you do that, though.
100%. Like, sometimes I'll be like I said to that person that's working doing that thing. If you ain't gonna do it right, I'd rather you quit so someone else in position could do it better. You know what I'm saying? Give someone else the opportunity to be great at what you can't be great at. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, like, if you have that shit in you to go 100%, to push harder, like, do that shit. And that's man, woman, that's kid, older person, whatever. And I hate when people start using the like excuses. Like, bro, there's so many excuses. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. Money, I came from this. My life was like this. Bro, none of that shit. None of that shit. Be the best that you could fucking possibly be. Some of the people, I gotta stop cursing.
We dropped so many bombs.
But I'm telling you, some of the greatest people that you will ever know, that you'll ever research, some of the greats, they had nothing. Absolutely nothing. They did it from the nothing at all. They did it from barely anything. And there's so many of you out there in this world who have everything you need. Everything you need to be great.
Well, you'll know people by their fruits.
Break that down.
So, like, the people that do complain and they do all that and they make excuses. They do things lazy. You'll know that, like, you'll know it because of what they have in life. You get me? So, like, you receive what you put in. You get me? So those people, they're never really going to receive everything that they desire or they really want because they're not matching that. So you'll know those people by what, like, their fruits, like. And it's not even just money or material things, just in general, like, the person they're with, like, the life they live, how people around them treat them, like, all that.
Yeah, that's why I said it has nothing to really do with money. It could just be how you show up in so many different places. Like, no matter what you do, everything that you do, your name is on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your fingerprint is on that shit. And where do people, like, lose that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do people forget?
You even get respect for things like that.
You what?
Like, you even get respect for things like that. Like, if there's two people that walked in right now, one's just a complainer, always sad about life, and one's a hard worker, you're automatically going to be drawn to the hard worker, stand-up person, because, like, that type of stuff demands a certain type of respect. Because you know how hard it is, and you see that they still do it. So you're automatically going to side with that person just off rip, you get me?
Yeah. And it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey. We all got to do what we got to do out here to work on being the best we could be in these different areas. It is far from easy. But at least try. You know, they had jamming next door, right?
I thought that was you for a minute.
Or Jay or something. What's
right.
going on?
I was like, loud ass TV on here is potting over.
Javi, what do you think about that too, man? I gotta know your perspective. And Ryan, if you're still here.
Napping on.
I think that.
Hold on, Pat, you want to switch real quick? So, with a mic. You know what? I'm not gonna lie though. I do this to them at 6 a.m., so it's all good.
At 6 a.m.?
Oh yeah, bro.
You be jamming at 6 a.m.?
Church is up every morning.
Oh, man.
Every morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Yeah.
I gotta do what I gotta do. So,
But I agree, bro. I think that, like JoJo was saying, I call it your highest self. Like, if you're doing things that are in line with your highest self, you'll meet people that are in tune with that, right? So, like, I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started on my business journey, I started that by doing Herbalife, right? And I had no money, no vision. It was just something that, like, I met some guy at my job that I was doing. And even if eventually doing Herbalife led to a dead end, just because of the nature of the company and the stigma around it, I learned valuable lessons that I'll never forget. And one of the biggest things for me is I met you. I met you there doing Herbalife. And look, all of the things that has come from that. So I think just me doing that, even if doing that specific thing is not the end all be all, it's the next step. And I think that goes for relationships, business partners, friends. I think the more things that you do that are in line with your highest self gets you closer to being the best you that you can become. Like you said, like if you're a basketball player, you could play, copy MJ, but you'll probably never be MJ, but you'll be closer to that than if you didn't try to study him and be that. So I think that's what it is, and you'll find a woman if you're a guy, you'll find a woman. If you're a girl, you'll find a man that are equal to you, because you're not going to be the successful business person and have a bum partner that doesn't do anything all day, and is a drain on your resources, a drain on your emotional and spiritual state. They're not going to go together. So I think that's What's my take on it?
Let them know. Ryan, wake up, sir. There, you got a mic.
See,
What's the,
gotta have a retractable.
can you give me the overall topic again?
So, I want to know why people don't move out here like that their name is attached to something. Like, why don't people try to be great, and why are people average in multiple areas of their life? This isn't just business. This is just like, yo, whatever they do, because I feel like, too, and I just try to surround myself with people that are just try to be great in all the things that they do. And not saying that you're always going to achieve that, but why are so many people fucking out here just average and okay with it? And what's up with that?
That is a fantastic question. Oh my God.
Out of my gears lately.
Yeah, no, I would say that is definitely a problem. It's just like a sense of like no pride. It feels like, you know what I mean? Like that's like everything to it is like when you're going to do something, when you're delivering a service or a product or just being like a friend or be, you know, it's like, don't you want the good, like, don't you want your name to have that good ring to
When
it?
did you learn that? Do you feel like that's always been in you?
I feel like that's like the only way. Yeah. I feel like that's definitely been in me forever. I definitely learned that from my father, I would say, just because it's like the idea of like, you got it. This is my last name type of feel. Like that's how I feel like I carry that is like, this is the last name. Like you gotta be the best person you could be. That's just the way that I look at it every day. Is like, if I'm screwing someone over or if I'm not accomplishing what I'm telling somebody, like it all boils down to if you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it, you're just a liar. So do you want to be a liar or do you want to be a truther? And that's what it really comes down to.
Ryan always dropping gems. And again, I think always. Hold on, what the fuck is this mic? Which way? I think people really do forget or don't realize that shit sticks with you. People think, oh, nah, I ain't gonna see that.
Right.
Like I can move like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can move and you ain't gonna remember that. You ain't gonna remember that one time I show up. You're gonna remember this. You're gonna remember that. You ain't gonna
you know, you're on the news. You're on the news with your whole first and last name, your whole government name for the rest of your life for your bad decisions.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, the way it is in this world too, and that it's the sad part, people will remember you for the stuff that you didn't do versus the stuff that you did. And they'll remember you for the things that you did that were wrong versus the things that you did that were great. And it's just the sad world that we live in. But I think a lot of people really don't understand that. Like, yo, you could do something amazing. Like, yo, even like with this whole cancel culture, to bring it back to like tech and stuff, you know, people are getting canceled all day, every day for like something they did 20 million moons ago. They could have did a million things great, but they're gonna get canceled on that one thing. And it's crazy because that's like the internet and stuff like that, but that is very true in real life. And you may not want to believe it. And just because you're maybe not a celebrity or something like that, there's so many people in this world that have canceled you for the way you've acted. You just will never know about it.
It's like, who's like, not that who do you think canceled you, but I think a lot of people, they don't give a damn. Nor like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they cancel you without saying anything, like, that's no different than just running away instead of just being direct. You know? So it's just like, they won't know, but like they might not know. So what if they thinking this whole time, oh, I think, yeah, we're still cool. Meanwhile, they don't know that you just dropped them off and you thinking they're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think people just keep moving. And, you know, they just kind of look, because it's not like everybody's looking at a grander scope. If you're thinking about what everyone is thinking about you, then you're not really gonna move anywhere. You're gonna be like, oh, I gotta do what everybody else is thinking about me. You're not gonna move anywhere. But if you're like focused on whatever you're doing, like I don't think people really care about anyone past like 7 people. I don't think that circle's that big.
I do, and it's a very, even that is a very like touchy thing, or even like you almost get confused, like, oh, should you care about what people think? Should you not care about what people think? It's a very like teeter in between. You know, sometimes
it depends on the situation.
How
Like
so?
like for example, if you're talking to somebody and they're going through a loss, and you're just kind of just talking to them about something that's not pertaining to the topic, or not even not pertaining to just not being sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about death. Like they just went through a loss, and you're not reading the room, and they're looking at you like, why aren't you understanding what I'm going through? And you're like, man, it's like it's not even that serious. Like you underscore things, and that's where people just kind of get divided because it's just miscommunication. People just they're not talking directly, they're talking like indirectly. You know, it's like everybody moves differently in terms of like maturity. So if that person lives a fun lifestyle and they're like having a ball, the other person is like a little more conservative, they're gonna just mess around with people more conservative. You know what I'm saying? Like-minded. And if you're conservative-minded, you're less likely to try to expand into new things. You know what I'm saying? Like that, there's a divide for a reason. There's people who are a catalyst of change, and then there's the conservative-minded people out there that just like, I just like things the way they are, and it keeps the people who are all over the place grounded. And I think that's the dynamic. So to believe that everyone has to be as ambitious is not that it's unrealistic, but it's not going to be like a big thing. It's like, let those people be ambitious, and then let those people be conservative, and then do their stuff and whatnot, and then
come in the middle somewhere.
it comes in the middle where you have people who can do both. You know what I'm saying? That just chill out and then be ambitious at the same time. But like everybody being a billionaire, being Grant Cardone, everybody's gonna be average. If everyone's ambitious, everyone is an average. That's it.
But there's multiple areas though. Again, it doesn't
cancel
just
out.
mean money. It doesn't just mean money.
No, it doesn't have to be money, but it does mean like you could be the best in everything. Like everybody is not going to be the best of the best. There's always going to be someone that says, you know what, you go on ahead. That's just it. You go on ahead, man. I'm good here.
I get
And then that's
disgusted
it.
just thinking about it.
That's just the way it is, man.
I'm just disgusted by even thinking about it.
You got runners and you got joggers, man. They're moving, but it's not going to be the pace that you want. But they're moving, you know.
Well, no. If you're trying,
like that's what I'm saying. Like some people's try might look like you are under ambitious, because to me, I'm running and you're jogging and you're not moving fast enough. And that's what it comes out to. Like, and you just look at them. Like, you need to run faster. It's like, yo, I'm going the fastest I can, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
At least, but no, I mean, you know, those people. Like, I'm not even talking about those people. Like, if you're moving, you're moving. That's cool. I'm just talking about the people that just ain't doing shit. It's average.
Listen, man, there's a contrast. The people who ain't do shit, let them not do shit. You know what I'm saying? Let them not do shit.
Man.
If they want to do shit, they know how to do shit. But if they don't, just let them because you're wasting your time on people who don't want to do shit. You can't force the horse to drink water. Let the horse drink it by itself. That you've heard that so many times. You want to be lazy, just be lazy. But I'm not going to be lazy with you. That's the contrast. That's the divide in there. You got to make choices. There's right and there's wrong. Nothing can all be right and nothing can all be wrong. There has to be some differentiation, like light and dark. So you're going to have people who are lazy. You're going to have people who are super ambitious. And if everyone's ambitious, then nobody's ambitious. If everybody's lazy, nobody's lazy.
Yeah, nobody should be lazy.
But then this you can't have an absolute. There's always going to be a divide. That's it. There has to be a balance.
I want it.
There's a balance, man. That's just how life works, man. If everything was so good, then there would be no opposite. There's no bad. There's no season. It just be salt, no pepper.
Why is Zayn gotta come and throw in a little sense?
I'm just saying.
I'm just. But you know what? Nah, man. I'm not like.
What are you gonna do at this point?
Who wakes up in the morning, goes in the mirror? You know what? I want to be average. Yep, that's all I want to do.
You haven't woke up and said, I'm gonna be a lazy bag of potatoes. You never had a lazy day. Well, it's just like I ain't doing nothing.
Not that I'm gonna just wake up and be average, but a lot of people scared to take the average.
Yeah.
It's like what is they feel? What's gonna happen?
Like
The unknown. They don't want it to go into the unknown.
is comfortability at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right. The conservative.
They do enough to get by, and they
Cool with that. Deep down, they probably not cool with it, but
it's better than the fear of failing.
Yo, I want to go. Like, y'all ever see those movies, like the big movie, where he's like big and then he goes into like a small person's body? I want to just go into like an average person's body for one day, see what it feels like.
I can only imagine what that day is, because I was thinking about like what if I never did like what I was doing now, like graphic designing, like doing photography, the magazine. Like what if I just didn't do it? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking like, what would I be if I was just still working at Victoria's Secret, just pushing boxes like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't imagine
Go back to
doing to that point and being like, yeah, I think I'm good. What?
Ryan, can you do me a favor? You see that blue book to the left of you? The big blue book to the left of you. Can you pass that over? We got to do that before we end this episode. We got to bring this out.
You got a blue book.
Yeah, we got a blue book.
It's a yearbook.
Yes. I love that. It's a yearbook. I'm going to show Zayn over here.
That's funny. Zayn wasn't even Zayn then.
Nah, you were Zayn all right. You know what's crazy is they put us, like, we're right on, like, the same side, but on different pages.
That's funny.
It's like they knew. There he is.
There's that guy.
There's
the stunner.
And then I had hair. So, don't be alarmed.
Show it here. You gotta zoom up into just take a picture and then just
I'll throw it in there.
slap it on there.
Yeah, that was that meant a lot actually getting that, because people who've been listening to this podcast for a while, y'all know I've lost like everything I've owned like twice in my life.
Right.
So one of the police officers from town put on Facebook like, yo, cleaning out the office, we got yearbooks, and I was like, hell yeah, yo, let me get that shit. And that's our graduating class.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I was like,
that.
that's what I'm saying. It was so cool. And he was like, yo, the reason why because it's like a little weird. Like, why would they have a bunch of yearbooks? He was like, yo, it was back in the day before like technology. He was like, they would get the yearbook. So if you had to go like see what someone looked like, you would look through the yearbook to look through the pictures. Old school.
Yeah, and they probably had a lot because they had to order it, and then if you bought it, you bought it. If you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah, they had like one or two of each graduating class or whatever. So scoop that up real quick.
Let me get that.
Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah, I got mine. I made sure because I just not that I didn't want to remember people. I just want to have like record of like, because I had accolades and stuff that I did. Like, because the other yearbooks I didn't really care for, but I was actually in the yearbook.
Yo, you should look through the yearbook to see if I signed it.
I gotta check.
That would be so fire.
A lot of people sign
That would be
my
so
stuff.
fire. Imagine I wrote like, "Don't be average."
Don't be average like the whole time, or it's like you'll meet me here at this date.
Imagine.
I was like, nope, Joe's from the future. Joe is absolutely from the future.
Yeah, I'm telling you, go home. Look at.
He actually swapped with the real Joe.
Imagine. But all right, people. I think this was fun. Javi and Zayn need to start a movie podcast.
We didn't even go in with Doom.
We didn't get to the Avatar stuff.
We didn't even get to the Avatar.
I feel like we're dying on all cameras at this point,
Oh
right?
my god.
This one's batteries. Is Ryan's good? Verge of death. Oh, so he
it's
okay.
Finn
At least we
Chardon.
got the master shot. At least we got the master shot. So Javi, what do we got to watch?
Well, don't watch the Avatar live action on Netflix. I think that it was extremely rushed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the makeup was horrible.
On which person?
All of the characters.
Almost
every single character had horrible makeup.
Even
like the Fire Lord.
Even the uncle.
Bro, he was the worst. And Boomy was horrible. They looked like he just bought like one of those like Dollar Tree like rubber pullover masks.
Boomy is the
and
old
just
man.
The king of Omashu.
Oh, that was the worst makeup.
Horrible.
That was bad.
It was just so bad.
That was
So
bad.
and like the Fire Lord,
The fire.
his mustache looked like they taped it on his head. Like if he moved his head too much, it's falling off. Right? The story was rushed.
Oh my god.
I think just about the only thing that I can give them credit for was the part when you saw Zuko fight his father. And hear me out. And then after that, when he banishes him, did you get there yet or no?
No.
Okay, well this is a spoiler.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna spoil it.
No.
Okay, I won't do it. I won't
Nah, let him watch it. Spoil it next week.
Next week, because I'm gonna try
watch
to finish it.
Watch it.
Watching
But that
binge
part,
watching.
that when you get there, is the only good part of the whole entire show.
When they fight.
When they fight, and
Okay.
what you find out, like directly after the fight.
Okay.
Everything else, horrible.
Okay.
I think it was just rushed, and like they didn't even give Azula blue flames. That's like the whole thing.
Oh, what did she have?
Azula is a fire. You know, the Fire
Yeah,
Lord's
his sister,
daughter.
yeah.
She shoots blue fire.
Right.
That's how you know it's Azula.
Right.
They didn't give her blue fire in the.
What they give her? Just
They
red?
give her just regular fire.
I saw her doing something with blue. What is
That's
that?
lightning.
Oh, she has lightning too.
She can do lightning. Only her, Iroh, her father, and Zuko can do lightning. Those are
Okay.
the only four. people
Zuko
that
could do it.
Zuko can do it. Zuko learned from Iroh. That's because you never seen the anime. You
That's
gotta
why-
watch the anime first.
Oh, you got the uncle teaching him lightning. That's crazy.
Yeah, how else is
Yo,
he gonna learn
you
if
guys
he's
Zane
banished?
mad hype now to go watch something.
Now I'm
my
gonna
God.
actually watch the cartoon.
Avatar is the best show ever. Like it's a kids show,
Right.
but like when you and that was another thing why I didn't like it is because I can get past all the animation, the makeup. I don't care about that stuff, but the story behind Avatar, the deep meaning and the character arcs, it was just horrible.
Yo, you know a show is bad when you break out the word arcs.
Oh my god!
Right.
Yo,
No.
you know that shit was horrible when you break out that word.
My girl was saying that what the issue was in the first episode was that he had ran away in the animation, opposed to him just taking a break.
Right.
That was a major key part.
He did. That's a key. But that's what I'm saying is how every single part of the show they got wrong. It's like they intentionally meant to ruin or to do it differently.
I think they were going for different, but to people it kind of came off as
It's
ruined.
ridiculous. Did you see
But
Owl?
in comparison to the live action movie,
They're both horrible.
no, not even close.
Horrible. Did you see the part with the owl?
The out, no. Is that, that's
Wait
that's,
till you get to the part.
So, I'm on episode. We just did 3, so we're about to be on 4.
What is
The most recent one was when he was fighting my man, the old dude.
Boomy?
Like that episode, yeah, Boomy.
Okay,
yeah.
so you know Boomy.
So I finished that episode. So the next episode is when they pretty much escaped and whatnot. And
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm on right now. So
At least they got the cabbage. It's just you never
did
seen
I do
that.
4?
The
No, that
anime.
was 4. So pretty much I'm about to be on 5. I'm about to be on
Alright,
5. So
okay.
I got like
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. I got 4 more episodes.
Yeah, 4 more hours.
I wonder if Jay saw what you all talking about.
Avatar?
I'm telling you, it's the greatest show ever.
Now I
every
gotta
time
see
I
it.
watch it, it gets because like the first time you watch it just for entertainment because it's fun. You know,
Right.
it's a kids show. But like the more times you watch it, you see like the deepness behind it and like the meaning and like the character arcs of all of them.
What streaming platform?
Huh? It's on Netflix.
Oh.
You know what? It reminds me of
They'll never take it off.
Rick and Morty, because I used to shit on that show, and then when I actually watched it, like season 1, and I was like, okay, and then I was like, this is actually really good, and then season 2, and I was absolutely hooked on season 1, but like when it was just the story just got deeper and deeper, like the certain stuff that they were doing, I was like, this is actually amazing. Like they make 20 minutes feel like a whole ass movie.
You'll love it.
And you know what I'm saying? So the animation, the Avatar,
you're gonna love it.
I want to watch it more because I got a little more information, even though it was like wrong. But my girl's filling in the pieces, so I was like, "Oh, I actually want to watch it."
Did she watch it?
She read it, watched it. So she
knows.
knew where the parts were, and then one part that she was upset was the fight. She said he picks in between the prisoners, and then he says, "All right, I'll pick you, the old guy." And, Right. And then
he didn't get a choice.
He didn't get a choice, and he's like, "You're gonna fight me," and I'm like, "Well, that would have been better if they did it with the animation." Because I remember.
Did you get to Mr. Pippin Pavlosakopoulos?
No.
Oh my God, that's another key part of the story. Just
gone.
Gave it to somebody else, and I'm just like, bruh,
Yeah, y'all be going in.
what are we doing here? What are we? They spent millions of dollars.
I'm not gonna lie, because when Yu Hakusho came out, that was my shit. All right, they did that. What? How many episodes they had? Like 5, 6?
Of what, Avatar?
No, Yu Hakusho.
I don't know.
There was I think there was like 6 episodes, right? The same way you feeling about Avatar is what they did to me in 6 episodes with Yu Hakusho, which started all those spirit hunter type thing. Yu Hakusho, and they did the tournament in 3 episodes.
Yeah, it felt rushed.
3 episodes, bro. We're talking Dragon Ball Z season 1 in 3 episodes. That's the equivalent. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you rush all that? Because there was a whole tournament that they go through, but before that, there was like the whole learning process, fighting demons, and then there was the tournament. And you rush all that. I completely get it. Because I was like, no way y'all just did the whole thing. Like, that was pretty much the whole series in 6 episodes. What?
And you know, it is so disappointing because when I first saw that Avatar thing come out, I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Because like the CGI kind of looks cool, even though you can kind of tell it's fake. But like the scenery, like some of the shots look amazing.
Right.
But then like some of this CGI is just like it's just so cheap. And it's just like,
Well, to be continued. It was a fun episode.
Peace.
Anything else you got?
No, I'm shout out to Avatar.
now you got me riled up.
The Last Airbender on Netflix. Check it out.
The anime first.
Watch the anime first.
I feel like I'm losing weight. I ain't got no money if I'm moving weight. My life's based upon what I'ma do today. Cop a crib, a new estate, new shape. Yeah, that's what I used to say. Kid, get paid and the earth this big, you worthless kid. You know the rest. That's life, nigga. Life, nigga. That's life, nigga. Life, nigga.
You argue with it. I was like, I just